Hello my friends, it's the Game Boy Geek here. Today we're going to be rolling some dice. We're going to be doing it fast, furious, we're going to be exchanging dice, we're going to be trying to make sets of straights, sets of triplets of the same number. We're going to be doing it fast, furious. We're looking at Cubo. This is sort of a family-based dice game from Queen Games. Plays in 2 to 4 players and in about 25 minutes, 20 to 25. It's pretty simple and easy. Let me show you how it's played. I'll see you on the other side. Here we have Cubo Set Up. This game lasts 6 rounds long. You're going to be rolling dice and scoring points. This board just houses the tokens for the points, which in my opinion is a little overproduced. They should have either done, if they were going to do a board, maybe just a track to track points, or just tokens without the board. I don't think they needed both of these. All these tokens nicely though go into this nice bag for storage. So here we are set up. We're going to start with round 1, and there's 4 neutral dice in the center, 2 blue and 2 red. Now everyone is going to receive one of these little boards, 4 blue dice, 4 red dice, and a white die. They're going to get ready to start rolling, but before we do that, we get ready to start up the round. We know we're in round 1, so we'll flip this over, and the 4 neutral dice will get rolled there. Now all the other players will begin rolling their dice, all of them, and they have a decision to make. They can either keep their dice this way, or they can re-roll all of their dice. Those are the 2 choices. Keep everything or re-roll everything. This actually looks like a good roll in the first roll. So what you're trying to do is put these things together to get the combinations that will score you the most points. There's only one rule of placement, and that means that the middle die has to be white. This is wild. This can be used as a blue or a red. So I'm going to put a 5 there. Let's see, and I'm going to do, what you're trying to do is either get 3 of the same numbers, which is 5, 5, 5 in a row, or, let's see, trips or straights, 4, 5, 6. So I can say 4, 5, 6, and I'll just put this here. Ooh, that'll be good. And there. Now, when I am done, like that, I'll be done. Now again, I could have re-rolled them and started over, but I'm done. And you're kind of doing this as a race, because everyone's doing this as fast as they can, because when you're done, you're going to yell, Cubo. You're going to put that over, meaning you can't touch your dice again. And you get to pull, you must take one of these dice and put it there. Now, everyone else is going to keep going, and one at a time, each of them is going to finish, take a die, finish, take a die. When the second to last person goes, meaning there's only 1 die left, everyone counts backwards. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, Cubo. And this last person has to stop. It just makes it so that they don't have all day to do their thing, because it's supposed to be sort of a speed game. And if they don't finish anything, then they don't get any points, but they'll just try to finish anything they can. Now, going in order, what we'll do is we'll look and we'll score each of our rows, but we can, if we want to, replace one of our die with the one we placed there. So in this case, I had a blue 4. And what I can do is I can replace any die here and take the die that I replaced and put it back in the middle for next round. So I'm going to replace this red 4 with a blue 4. I'll tell you why in just a moment. And I'm going to put this away. That'll be for the next round. Now what we do is, if you look at the Cubo thing here, there's actually 6 rows we're going to score. We have 1, this is kind of a column, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And the only 2 things we can score are trips, which is 3 of the same number, or straights, 3 numbers in a row. So let's go in order. Column 1, 4, 5, 6. Excellent. That is in an order. And 4, 5, 6. Now, it wouldn't matter if it went 6, 5, 4. It would still be in order. So 4, 5, 6, and you'll get the highest number of that. So that would be 6 points. So I would get 6 points from the tokens right there. Right here, on this one, number 2, we have 3, 5, 4, and 4, 5, 3. That doesn't do anything. So I don't get any points for that one. This one, again, 4, 5, 6. And I get 6 more points because that's the highest number in that set. We'll go to row 4. 4, 4, 4. Now I'll get 4 points for this, but since they're all the same color, it doubles it. So instead of this being 4 points, I would actually get 8 points. This one, 5, 5, 5. White is wild, so this can be thought of as a red. So I have 5, but this is a red, so it's doubled. So that's 10 points. I would get 10 more and put them here. This one, 6, 3, 6, that doesn't get me anything. So I actually had a pretty good round here on my first roll, which doesn't usually happen, and that would be it. Then we'd go to everybody else and give them their points. Now, at the end of the round, all the dice that people either replaced or did not, if we did not replace the die from the middle, you just put the same one back if you replaced it. Now look, I took a blue one and gave a red one back. So now the mix of blue or red here is different. We'd get ready to start a new round. We'd start round 2 and we'd do this again. But notice that these can change, meaning maybe over the next few rounds, I actually end up getting a lot more blue dice, which will allow me to kind of specialize in blue and have an easier time getting the double points, because you get double points anytime things are the same dice color. So you'll do this again. You'll start a new round. You'll roll the 4 dice that are out here for the neutral dice, and you'll go to the last person, everyone to the next to the last again, and we'll do it all the way to 6 points, and then whoever has the most tokens of all those is the winner. All right, well, there is Cubo. I typically like speed-based games, and I like chucking dice. This is one I enjoyed quite a bit. It is very light. It's a family game. Now, in my overview, the only negative thing I could say about it is sort of overproduced, I think. You know, setting up the board with all those tokens, I think, was sort of a waste. If they wanted to put in a board, they should have just done the board and then maybe just a tracker around it, because the tokens just make it longer to set up, and they get lost and things like that. Or if they wanted to do tokens, they could have done that without the board and maybe save some printing costs here. So I think it was a little overproduced, but it's still a good game. I think it's a good family weight game. It's very light. So now it does have that speed element. Now the speed element itself, I'd say, is more noticeable with, say, 2 players than 4. So if a speed element in a game is something you don't like, this might be one that you're going to have trouble with, unless you sort of house rule where you have more than just 6 seconds at the end. Maybe you give yourself some more seconds, whatever. It's sort of a party lightest game. I could see people doing that. I don't want you to avoid the game because of the speed element, because it is a fun game for families, but at the same time, that speed element is kind of what creates the tension and gives you the urgency. Otherwise, you'd be rolling all day. So now the speed element with 2 is a little more harsh, because you know, the 6-second countdown starts as soon as the second to last player ends their turn. So if there's only 2 players, as soon as the first player goes, boom, you're down to 6 seconds. And so you don't have a whole lot of time, and you don't have a whole lot of notice. Like with 4 players, oh, one player says Cubo and takes one of the middle dice. The second player says Cubo takes the middle dice. Okay, I better really start figuring out what I'm going to do, because as soon as the next player does it, I'm going to have 6 seconds left. So you have a little bit more warning with a 4-player game. And I think that game is a little bit more fun because you have that warning. You still have the speed element of you're trying to fight for that dice in the middle, because you want to go fast, because A, you don't want to get stuck with not having anything when the last person goes out, and with only 6 seconds left trying to figure something out. But you also want to fight over those dice. As I showed in the overview, sometimes it's really good to, even if you don't need a specific number that round, start to specialize in red or blue, and over the course of the game, you have better chances to get wild. So it's very light. You're just trying to get trips and straights in a row. It is a little thinky there as you're trying to do it, and there's a little bit of tension there, and it's a decent little family game. It's something I'll just pull out with my in-laws and such. So I think they will enjoy this quite a bit. It's not like something I'm going to pull out with the gamers all the time, unless it's just a quick filler waiting for people to come. But it's a solid little game. If you like dice games, if you like this sort of, you could bring this to someone who's only played Yahtzee maybe, and maybe nothing else, and this will give them some more stimulation and kind of get them into this great hobby, and that's Cubo.